Hey guys, how you doing? This is from Liberty Graphic Designs, and today we're gonna talk about frustration. So don't go anywhere. Okay, so one time somebody asked me, they're like, Juan, what do you do when you get burnt out? And one of the things that we do, or that I do when I get burnt out, is I fall back like on my hobbies. For example, right now I'm actually making a belt. I was gonna make two, but I think I'm just gonna make one. And this is it. I mean, this is the one that I've been working on. And the reason why I'm making a belt is because I've been losing some weight, and I've been punching holes on the one that I have now. So that's what I was doing. I just finished cutting this one and put the holes in it. So and that's what I'm doing. So yeah, to answer that question, I can't remember who asked me that question, because this was, it was a while back when they asked me what is it that I do when I get burned out, or when I get when I get burned out. So one of the things that I do is I fall back on my hobbies, like for example leather work, and the other one is woodworking. So that's what I do. And in this case, we're gonna be making this belt. You guys didn't get to see the sewing. I already sewed it. I didn't sew it by hand. I used the actual machine to sew it. But you guys are gonna see me put the belt buckle in. And that's pretty much it. I mean, that's basically all I gotta do is just do the belt buckle. That's all I gotta do. But I was like, let me record this because somebody asked me. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut a little slit right there for the, what do you call this thing on the belt buckle? The little rod, whatever that thing is. That's what I'm gonna do right now. As you can tell, I'm not a leather worker, whatever, leather smith or whatever you call that. People that work with leather. I am not. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just gonna cut that. I'm gonna cut that hole. See, and we have a hole in there now. Pretty cool. Okay, so this is what I do when I get burnt out, when I get frustrated. This is what I do. I do my hobbies. And one of the reasons why I'm frustrated right now is because I have a lot of work and haven't been able to find any help. And that's frustrating because, like, oh man, I just messed this one up. I cut it too short. Yeah, way too short. Let me see if I can fix it. I cut this part right here too short. Should have been like way over here. Now I'm not gonna have enough room to put the little loop that goes in here. Yeah, I'm not gonna have enough room. That sucks. That really sucks. Okay, so the frustration I'm going through right now is that I haven't been able to find any help, because we have a lot of work and it seems like nobody wants to work. So that's the frustration that I'm actually going through right now, which I think it shouldn't be, it shouldn't be too hard to find help, to find somebody that wants to work and that can come to work, To me, it should be a piece of cake, but it's not. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut small strip for, when you put your belt and that belt goes through that little loop. When you put your belt on and then it goes through the belt buckle, and there's this little loop that it goes in there and holds it together. that's what I'm gonna do right now. And that's why I'm cutting this small piece of leather. I'm not even gonna measure it. I'm just gonna see this little deal that goes right here. And then when you put your belt on, then you put the belt right through there. I know it's pretty far, you guys can't see it. That's what I'm doing right now. So if you guys were wondering what is it that I do when I'm, you know, burned out, this is it. This is what I do. You'll find me doing some woodworking, or you'll find me doing this a lot. That leather is a little thick, so I'm using a skiver so I can shave it down. Okay, so now what I'm doing is this leather, I mean, even though it's very thin, I'm thinning it out just a little bit, so when it goes through here, you know, on the other side, it doesn't create a big bulk. Usually we just butt it up like so, just like that, and then we sew it right there. But I'm gonna overlap it a little bit, just like that, and that way when I close the belt, this goes right through here. This little loop-de-loop right here is gonna catch the rest of the belt like that. You'll see it once I put it together. But this right here is a skiver, and basically what it's doing is just shaving the leather so it's not too thick. As you can see right here, that's the shavings. Oops. Just like that. See now if you notice, I don't know if you can tell, but the thickness of the leather here is going to be the thickness over here in the back. And this will be a lot stronger because, again, usually we just butt them together like that and then we sew this two together. But I don't want to do it like that. I want it a little different. Yeah, so now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to square this out just a little bit. I know you guys are not going to be able to see it because on the other side. Just so I don't have a big old piece. Just like that. I'm gonna get rid of that. Let's see. And that's gonna go about right there. No, somewhere in there. Like that. And then this, I'm going to take the belt buckle just to kind of measure it, make sure that it actually fits in there. You know, that it's a nice tight fit. Just like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this. That way I know where to sew it. So when I bring it back over here, I'm going to sew that part together. And then I can put it back in here and I know it's going to work because where I took the measurement. So let me sew this part real quick. And to sew it, I'm going to use, you know, just a thread and needle. Then I'm going to use this little piece right here. And I'm going to punch it. It don't have to be like super strong. But I'm gonna punch this right here so I can sew it. This is the only part that I actually sew by hand, or the only part that will ever be sewn by hand. Whenever I do it, you know, there's people out there that actually they take pride in their work, but this one is just for me. Just like that. Again, no big deal. Then I'm going to take that. You're not going to see this part because this is going to be inside the belt. So it doesn't really matter how I sew this. because again, it's gonna be inside the belt. Nobody's gonna see it. And this is just to, I mean, there's not gonna be any like heavy stuff on this. The only thing that we're gonna have is the belt. This is just to hold the belt down. That way it won't be poking through. And if you notice, I didn't sew right on the line. You know, I left a little room because it was a little tight. So we don't need it to be that tight. I'm gonna cut some of this excess leather, just like so. That's what it's gonna look like, just like that. So now what I gotta do, see these holes right here? I gotta put a couple of holes, one here, slide this over, and then put another one right here. But I cut this too short. This should have been a little longer so I can put those rivets in there. Now I'm gonna have trouble putting them rivets in there. So let me cut a couple of holes here. Well, I gotta do one here and one there, and that'll close this together, and that'll trap the belt buckle in place, and it'll trap this little strap in there. So let me do that real quick. It's so loud, so I didn't even pay attention to that. Okay, so now what we do is we gotta put the next one, or the other rivet, but I have to slide this little loop-de-loop in place before we put the other rivet. Like that. So we got both of the rivets in. Make sure that one's in. Just like so. I'm not gonna dye this, just in case if you guys were asking, because I don't know, I like the different contrast in there. And we have our belt. See? Just like that. Pretty cool, right? That's how I deal with my frustration. Here's my old belt. I always make my own belts. Yeah, this one, I had to punch new holes in there. And you can see where I cut the belt because the holes are like right there. I just lost some weight ever since I became diabetic. But I got my new belt on. Feels really good. The main thing is that you don't want to get frustration, or you don't want to let frustration get to you. Find something, whatever it is. Find a hobby. It's a big mess. Like, for example, my hobbies are a big mess. This creates a lot of mess. Woodworking creates a lot of mess, but it clears the head. And that's the main thing. That is the main thing. That you clear your frustration, and that, you know, you're not always burnt out. If you feel like that, you know, take a break. Go somewhere. Again, my wife and I, we just take two-day vacations. We'll go to Dallas, we'll go to San Antonio, we'll go to Austin, and just spend, you know, sometimes we even just spend the night. And, you know, just to kind of like get away from the routine, you know. That's it. But yeah, guys, this is it for this video. I hope it was useful to you. I hope you found it interesting. And again, if you are going through something like I am going right now, don't let it get to your head. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. It's a pleasure, like always. I don't care what I do when I'm making a video for you guys. It's always a pleasure. So if you guys got something for me, just let me know and we can try to make a video. I'm not going to promise you that I will make a video, but I can promise you that I will try to make a video. Thank you, guys, and I will catch you on the next one. God bless you. Good night, because it's pretty late right now. And I will see you on the next one. Adios now. God bless you. Bye-bye.